There's a video that a woman made on this app where she's crying because her boyfriend, her partner of 7 years, abandoned her.
Post it.
I'm not even recording you.
Post it. Post it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want you more.
Tony, stop. What are you doing, bro?
I need you! Take me back! Please! I'm going crazy! Please! 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 Walter! Please! 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 Please!
Can you please stop acting like this?
I can't.
All right, calm down.
I'm hurt. Please. 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 Please, Walter. Please, Wally. Please. 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 Please.
Please what?
Please take me back.
I took you
You
back.
won't. You don't want to be with you and everybody else. I want a family way. Please take me back. Please take me back. Please. Please take me back. Please take me back. Please. Please take me back.
And broke up with her after she made a big cross-country move. And there's a lot of people stitching that video and having a lot of thoughts about how important it is to decenter men. You're not single, you're single until you're married, all of that, right? And I understand why that's the conversation that video inspired to have, but I just feel real bad because that woman is in pain. That woman, she was in love. She had a partner that she thought they were aligned. She made a move across the country to be with him, and she's sad. And I just feel like before we try and turn that into a gotcha moment to talk about decentering, I don't know. I just feel in the decentering men conversation, my decision to decenter men came out of a deep love for myself and a deep love and reverence for women. And I think it's important to be mindful that, not to be cruel, it's coming off a little cruel. But I mean, I know that that's social media, and I know that, whatever you put out there, people are going to take and interpret however it is that they want. And again, I do think the decentering conversation of Ben, don't make, if you're going to move cross country, it's because it's something that you wanted to do that fit into your plans, not just because it's their plan and you're going to follow them, So I think all those conversations are incredibly important, but I don't know, having a decentering men conversation and feeling like that's giving us room to still kind of perpetuate some kind of cruelty to women, I feel like we're missing the plot a little bit. I feel like we're a little misaligned. I also want better for women, and I want the best for women, not just better. I want the best, right? But I don't, 1 to 3 years, if marriage is 1 to 3 years for a life decision, I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to put a time frame on that. I know that we typically, I think, in our society want to move against a timeline. I'm not going to project that onto this woman. I don't know anything about this woman besides what she shared in that video. And in that video, she said that, if I'm remembering correctly, because, sometimes you could get your TikToks, crossed, but she doesn't want children. And he told her that he didn't want children either. They were in a relationship for 7 years. It was all fine and dandy. I'm assuming that they probably had their little beefs, right? Their little arguments, because it's a relationship. It's two humans trying to build a life together. It's not going to be all peachy keen, right? But so they're together. He wants to move to another part of the country, and she's in a relationship. So she goes, right? And then he decides that he actually does want children. And where does that leave her, right? And then abandoned her. Am I confusing the stories? I feel like this is the right one. But if she was married to him after a year or two, on the premise that they both don't want children, and he changed his mind and then decided to like disrupt that in that way, what could she have done? You know? I don't know if marriage was her goal. Was marriage her goal? I don't know. It seems like maybe it was, right? I just try not to follow these arbitrary lines. Marriage is not the goal. A happy relationship should be the goal. And sometimes marriage is a part of that happy relationship for some people. But marriage, like, and I get it. We think about marriage as giving us protections. And in a lot of ways it does, right? There's a lot of things in this country and around the world that legally need you to like be married for you to have, if you're going to the hospital or something like that. I get that. But I think that we have discoursed our way out of understanding the realities and the practicalities of a relationship. You know? Like, even in relationships with two people, sometimes somebody's dream might take precedence. I think about the people who are in partnership with people who are in med school and have to get their residency, and then their residency matches them somewhere else. There are times that in a relationship, that's what happens. Right? The idea is that if you have two people who are healthy, you'll be able to navigate that. So at the end of the day, the full relationship is serving both people in it. Right? And so I don't know, in this situation, I'm not trying to like insert fill in the blanks for things that I don't know about this woman's relationship. All I know is that a woman was in love with somebody and was with them for 7 years and is heartbroken that they're no longer together. And people are using this real human experience to talk about this hypothetical like relationship discourse that we all like to get into, right? And decentering men, if we're going to decenter men, the simplest way of thinking about that, right, is that, oh, we're centering women then. In those conversations and all the discourse that people are having on the back of this woman's heartbreak, she's not being centered. Right? Making discourse conversations that essentially equate and amount to calling this woman a dumb bitch for moving across the country. Because no one wants that, but that's what it feels like people are saying to her, right? Isn't centering her agency, her autonomy, the thoughtfulness that maybe she put between into that move. Like, you can do everything right and still get your heart broken. You can do it's love. We're talking about love here. That's the risk. It's a hell of a risk, and it feels bad. The idea of decentering men, finding community, prioritizing yourself is about giving yourself so many tools that your identity is still intact, even in the midst of heartbreak, even in the midst of tragedy, that you still know who you are and you have a North Star to go back to, a North Star that never leaves you, that someone can leave you and it still leaves so much other parts of your life intact. That's what that's about, right? But like, love comes with risk. And every time that a woman gets her heart broken, every single time a woman is on social media and is in pain, it is not an opportunity to center men in the decentering conversation. See, this is why you don't fuck with men. That seems like we're still censoring men in that conversation, not censoring that woman. And like, I know with social media, I'm a person on a phone. I might not even seem like a real person to some people, right? But like, when I watch videos from people, I have to remember people before discourse. We're talking about people here, right? We're talking about people.
I need you. Take me back.
This is how they be wanting Capricorn women to act. This is why they call us too masculine, because we don't do this type shit. Take me back. Nigga, you will barely get a take out of my goddamn lips. By the time you look around, you don't want me, bitch. I am on to the next. Huh? Even if the next is my goddamn self. Oh, you don't want me? Oh, you got me fucked up. Baby, Baby, this is not a motherfucking pill. You don't need this shit. You need to eat. You need to sleep. You need water. You need a roof over your head. Bitch, that right there, you don't need.
Hey you guys, so I recently broke up with my boyfriend, and I didn't think that I was going to share this experience or this story just because it's not that big of a deal and it's kind of private too, but I decided to share it because I felt like the girls really needed to hear about this. So there are two major points I'm going to make, and I'm going to try to keep this very short. So number one, the way that God has carried me throughout this breakup is really nothing short of amazing and unbelievable. Usually after a breakup, I'm a mess. Like, I've been known to cry in the club over a breakup. Like, I'm telling you, days, weeks, and the fact that that has not been my experience this time is only because of God. And I've been really trying to get back to my relationship with him first and foremost, so that he is leading my relationships from now on. Number two is, I feel like a lot of times when we all see these breakup stories, especially coming from the woman's perspective, it's always like this horror story, like, the stuff that she's been through and what he put her through and all the stuff that she put up with. And we all look at her like, girl, why was you in that relationship? Like, why did you stay? But when I tell you guys that that's not my experience at all, like, it just wasn't. My ex was a great guy. Like, even after we broke up, still sending me flowers to my apartment, like, just a great guy, but for somebody else. And we didn't break up because of anything that he did to me, anything that I found out or anything that I did to him. We literally broke up because just of small things that led me to understand that this was not my husband. And so I needed to make room for my husband by exiting that relationship. But I'm telling you, the way that he treated me within this relationship was so good. He's raised my standard. And you guys know that my standards are already high to begin with. But my ex treated me so well in our relationship that it was like, if the next guy, he's made it harder for the next guy. Because if the next guy isn't coming like my ex or better, then off the rip, you can get to stepping. Like, so, breakups don't always have to be this, oh, I'm learning a hard lesson, or I went through some traumatic experience. Not every relationship is going to end up in a marriage. And the ones that don't end up in marriage doesn't mean that it has to be messy or, as long as you're upholding your standards within the relationship, it should be a positive experience. And honestly, my relationship was a positive experience. And I'm telling you, like, I have nothing bad to say about him. And we're still friends. We still talk and everything. But I just don't feel like the girls hear that often about a relationship that you get out of that has raised your standards. That, like, he's treated me so well, like the next guy's gonna be hard for him, so I just wanted you guys to hear that, because not every breakup is a horror story, and not every breakup is some hard learning lesson. Some breakups are really because you're just maturing and you want different types of relationships, and you just came to understand, like, I don't see myself marrying that person, so let's not waste each other's time. And that's pretty much what this was. But like I said, great guy, love him. Sis, I'm going to tell you exactly why this positive, godly message got everybody in a tiff, okay? First of all, a godly message will always agitate someone's demons. So let's just, put that out first. But second of all, men will always get mad when women live their lives with any kind of standard. And I'm not even talking about dating. I'm talking about any area of their life. And it's simply because if women have standards with what they do, then a lot of men will get left in the dust, because we know that men don't live their life with standards, right? So they have to make a positive message like what I put out sound, they have to mock it and make it sound crazy, because they want to discourage and intimidate other women from saying and doing the same things, because they know if we collectively came together and even had bare minimum standards, a lot of them would die alone. And really what it comes down to is they try to make it seem like women are afraid of dying alone. That's not true. Stats will even tell you that when a person is widowed or divorced, the men are more likely to remarry because they don't want to die alone. Women are completely content to being like, been there, done that, I'm not doing it again. But yeah, they just don't want to die alone, and so they have to mock it and make it, make it sound crazy and, try to intimidate people with a message. So that's all it is.